Let's go to Duke here before we run out of time. Clemson comes in 12.5-point underdogs. Patrick Ngamba gets 2 fouls early. Clemson hangs. Ngamba plays the whole second half. They blow him out. That guy might be the most important person on their team in terms of like the big time success. Boozer's going to keep you in every game. Boozer's a national player of the year, but without Ngamba, their defense and rebounding is significantly different, and they owned Clemson's team.
You know what I compare him to? He's like a hockey enforcer. He's like the guy he's like Mark Messier back when he played with Wayne Gretzky, and he protects Cam Boozer. He does. He protects them on the defensive end.
Hold on. Messi has scored like 500 some goals though, bro. I thought you were like a dude that's just gonna go fight somebody. Yeah.
All right, but Messier protected Gretzky, but he still protected him too. And Ngamba might be a first-round pick. He might be a first-round pick. Like,
your comp now makes more sense. Okay, he's not.
He's no slouch, is what I'm saying. He's a hell of a basketball player. Super important everything Duke does. And yes, when he wasn't on the court against Carolina, we saw what happened. Right, that game completely flipped. So yes, Big Pat is an integral part to this team, especially in the defensive end of the court. Again, listen, Clemson's Clemson. You know, Brad Burnell has maximized every bit he could out of this group. I mean, I still think, you know, he's in contention for National Coach of the Year because this team could have been an NIT team, and I wouldn't have been surprised when I saw him in November in Charleston. So he's done a great job. I think the bigger, you know, the other part is Isaiah Evans. Isaiah Evans had a big game. He's got to be consistent. Has to be.
Yep. I really think that you should have stuck to your retirement before you made that Mark Messier, Pat Ngamba comparison. Like that might have been the worst thing that's ever aired on the field of 68.
Having a rough day, man. I might as well just continue it.
You are having a rough day. No, I mean the thing about Duke is I do feel like when you compare them to some of the other teams at the top of the sport, I don't know if I see the same ceiling. And Dallin, tell me if this is crazy, but I don't feel like I look at them and see a team that scares me the same way that I look at Michigan and it's like, all right, so what are we going to do with this front line? Or you look at Houston, it's like how are we going to stop Kingston Flemings? You look at Florida and it's like these dudes are so freaking good defensively and so good at like what are we going to do with that? And I don't know if you see that with Duke. But they just win and they kind of wear you down and they don't let you score and they are elite defensively and they just so happen to have the guy that we said earlier is probably going to end up winning National Player of the Year. By the way, Cameron Boozer, 23 points, 10 boards, 4 assists, less than a turnover and a half while shooting 58% from the floor, 36% from three, and 75% from the free throw line. That's just like that's ridiculous, man. Like And he kind of embodies what this Duke team is, where you're never going to get these huge blow up. We blew out a top 5 team by 40 points kind of wins like Michigan does, but they're just going to be at the highest, most elite. Like their floor is so much higher than anybody else's floor. It's ridiculous. Go ahead, Jeff.
There he goes again. He never pays. Like one of these days, he's going to pay his damn Wi-Fi. One of these days.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but I'm back. I think. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Wait, hold on. You answered your own question. I was only gone for like 8 seconds too, but I came right back. You answered your own question though, because you said that you're like, what scares you? Cam does scare you because it requires. Okay, how are we going to stop this guy? And if you can't stop him, then we do count the pros. Sarr's a pro. Evans is a pro skill in terms of his 3-point shooting. His feet are set. Not really a pro, but his feet are set. Gumbo's a pro. That's a lot of talent. They got a lot of freaking talented guys. So there's the question. Now, I don't think they are as complete or as a challenge as Arizona or maybe as Michigan, potentially as Florida, although they beat Florida on their own floor and Florida was a different team back then. But you can still see the team and where they're progressing to. All right, we got 1 minute before we got to get out of here. Real quick, toasts. You guys got the booze. Goody, who's your toast of the night?